the power of 2000. Now, Channel 2 News.
A young woman with a gun invades the halls of Forest Grove High School tonight. The search to find her. Good evening, I'm John Marlowe.
And I'm Kathy Marshall. A Forest Grove High School student had the scare of a lifetime when an intruder threatened her life. The student walked into a school restroom and saw a young woman with drug paraphernalia and a gun. The intruder threatened to kill her if she said anything. Sheila Hamilton reports Forest Grove students and residents are shaken.
Forest Grove is an active high school with students and parents coming and going for classes and activities. But this young woman slipped past security officers at the height of activity, the end of the school day.
So you have about 1,500 students all, coming out the doors and up and down the hall. So one more teenager is probably not going to stand out.
The intruder walked into this restroom and bent over what the teen witness described as a backpack with drug paraphernalia.
When the suspect realized that the victim was in there, the suspect brought out a handgun and pointed it directly at the victim, made a threat to kill the victim, and told the victim not to tell anybody what she had seen.
Forest Grove administrators sent home a bulletin detailing the alleged crime and the suspect's description. She is a white female, 17 to 19 years old, 5'10", 130 to 140 pounds with a medium build, bleached blonde hair with dark roots, and acne covered by makeup. The suspect also has a light scar on her cheek and multiple earrings in her left ear. Students say they were relieved the suspect is not a student at Forest Grove.
Did that relieve you in some way?
Yeah, it wasn't really one of our students from here, but still the school safety issue. I think it needs to be kicked up another level.
I feel like it's enough, but I still don't think it would do much good if someone really had intent to come in and do any harm.
Still, parents say they are thankful the school alerted them with the bulletins.
Yeah, we have our kids up here 2-3 nights a week, and they usually go down to get their drinks while they're practicing, and it's kind of scary.
Police say the woman's appearance stands out and may be the key to an arrest.
The Forest Grove police say they did receive a few leads from students. They are checking those out tonight. If caught, the suspects will face charges of menacing and unlawful possession of a weapon in a public building. Those are both felonies. John, Kathy?
Sheila, thank you.
An early morning fire leveled 2 southeast Portland businesses, causing $1 million damage in minutes. The fire started about 4:20 this morning, destroying AAA towing and Iron Age safety shoes. A worker first spotted the fire. He called 911. But had to hang up suddenly when the fire got out of control.
A light explosion or boom next door in the other part of the building, which is a different company. And then smoke started rolling in, and I told the 911 operator, so I got to get out of here now.
Firefighters still haven't been able to get inside the building to search for a cause. They hope to be able to do that tomorrow. Crews will monitor the fire scene for hot spots throughout the night.
A construction accident left a Portland man trapped beneath a house today. It happened this morning in the 1100 block of Southeast 148th Avenue. 38-year-old Chuck Windrow was installing a foundation under his home. The building slipped off its jacks and trapped him beneath the floor. Firefighters were able to cut a floor joist to free Windrow. He's being treated for a broken hip.
Portland police say they busted a major heroin robbery ring this evening. They arrested 5 men they say ran a heroin operation out of a house at 73rd and North Greeley. Officers say they found 7 ounces of heroin and a basement filled with stolen items, including luggage, televisions, VCRs, cookware, and mountain bikes. Police tell us they are serving search warrants on other suspected drug homes. Investigators in Rochester, Washington say they believe yesterday's triple murder-suicide may have been motivated by religious beliefs. Thurston County police speculate 33-year-old Thomas Briggs poisoned his wife and 2 children before shooting himself. Police found stacks of religious writings inside the family's home. They believe his extreme religious beliefs may have led to the murders. The family's 5 pets were also found dead inside the house.
The search for a new leader for the Portland Police Bureau is narrowed down to 2 candidates. Mark Croker is a former Los Angeles deputy police chief currently working on the United Nations Anti-Terrorism Unit. Ronald Monroe is currently the assistant police chief in Washington, D.C. He has also served as interim director of the police department's finance and budget committee. The giant online bookseller Amazon.com, that is, could be making the big move from Seattle to Portland. Mayor Vera Katz is trying to persuade the nation's largest online seller to relocate to the Rose City. Possible sites include the now vacant Weinhardt Brewery. That location is right next door to Portland's very successful landmark bookstore, Powell's. But officials don't see Amazon as competition.
Amazon sells a lot of books, mainly new. They don't really stock the books as much as we do, so we supply them a lot of used books. So we see this as more cooperative arrangement rather than a competitive one.
Amazon.com has also asked for bids from realtors in the Seattle area. The mayor's office in Seattle calls Amazon's possible move speculation.
He's not a counselor, he's not a priest, he's just a regular guy. For some reason, people share some of the most personal lifetime decisions with him. Elizabeth Bermudez reports on why a Lake Oswego man has so many people logging on for a computer confession.
Somebody else told me about him. This is a 3-page letter from this guy in death row.
43-year-old Barry Kadish has received hundreds of letters and email over the past few months. But these aren't ordinary letters. They're filled with stories of broken dreams, wishes, and regrets.
People really feel good about writing about their past and helping other people with what they've learned.
Last May, Kadish created his own website, regretsonly.com. Some call it an online confessional without a priest.
I don't sit there and wag my finger and say, you did a bad thing. And that allows people to open up.
Open up they have. Kadish gets email from all over the world, from correspondents in England and Japan. There's no way to know how many of these stories are true. Kadish says they do cover similar themes: relationships, missed opportunities, and education.
I have quite a few regrets. My biggest regret is not taking full advantage of the many opportunities for education there are in this country.
Kadish says he got the idea for his site during the Monica Lewinsky scandal.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
He wondered if the president had any regrets about the affair. Surely everyone has them. But bearing one's soul online isn't necessarily for all.
It's probably real good because you get in touch with, sometimes you get in touch with what you want by knowing what you don't want.
I wouldn't just like go on the internet and tell all the world, you know, this is what I did, you know, or this is my regrets or anything.
Even so, psychologist Kayla Burns calls the site healthy, as long as the folks who log on log off feeling better.
And I think some of the regrets also are going to serve as examples to others and as sort of as urges for other people to do the right thing.
That, says Kadish, is why he does it, to help others help themselves.
I mean, I'm hearing words like cathartic and therapeutic.
And those are powerful words for Barry Kadish, not a confessor or a shrink, just a regular guy sitting quietly behind his computer. In Lake Oswego, Elizabeth Bermudez, Channel 2 News.
Kadish says he's had more than 1,000 hits to his website. He's received about 600 letters. He says he's hoping to write a book sometime next year about the many regrets in life.
Still ahead tonight on Channel 2 News, a warning for parents, how to make sure you're buying safe toys for the holiday season.
Also tonight, we meet the Longview man who had a shot at $1 million last night but wasn't fast enough.
And if the thought of going home for the holidays stresses you out, we have tips from an expert about how to cope. You probably have your list by now. You're checking it twice, and you're trying to decide what to pick up at the toy store for your children this year. Well, we have some help. Tomorrow on Channel 2 News at 5, you have a big test going on.
That's right, Kathy. We're going to take more than 100 of this year's top Christmas toys and put them to the test. How? We're going to have kids from daycare centers all over the Portland area test these babies, and we're going to show you the top 20.
Some tough judges there, Ed.
Tough ones.
The results of the Great American Toy Test tomorrow on Channel 2 News.
I'm Ted Koppel. Coming up on Nightline, a new message to our public high schools. Gay and lesbian behavior is not abnormal, not mentally unhealthy, and requires no cure. That's causing a firestorm tonight.
Do you have a news tip or story idea for Channel 2 News? Call our news line at 231-4642. If you live outside Portland, call 1-800-267-6836.
Choose your minivan, from the most luxurious Chrysler Town & Country Limited to America's lowest priced Voyager. You'll find it all in a Chrysler or Plymouth minivan. Maybe that's why Voyager won a Consumer's Digest Best Buy 10 years in a row. And maybe that's why more people choose from our family of minivans than any other.
Shop right now at Circuit City and save. Hurry in today and save $400 on any computer after mail-in rebates when you sign up for 3 years of CompuServe 2000 Premier Internet Service. Like this Packard Bell computer, yours free after mail-in rebates. Save $450. And add this 15-inch monitor and color printer for just $99.99 after mail-in rebates. Save on your new computer today at Circuit City.
This Friday only from 6 to 11 a.m. at Walmart, we've got gift ideas that are hot. Like men's relaxed fit jeans and ladies' carpenter pants from Faded Glory. Your choice, $10.88. We've got gift ideas that are fun. Like our Turbo Air Hockey and Soccer Table, just $49.97 each. And we've got prices that are great. Like the Forehead Hi-Fi VCR with remote, just $68.94. But hurry, it's this Friday only from 6 to 11 a.m. at Walmart.
There comes a point in your life when you outgrow those cute little pickups, at which time you might want to consider something a little more adult, a different kind of truck that can run rings around compacts. Dodge Dakota. With more room and more available towing, torque, payload, and power. Dakota. Time to put away the toys. Dakota, now ranked best compact pickup in initial quality by J.D. Power & Associates.
You're watching Channel 2 News with John Muller and Kathy Marshall.
The holiday shopping season begins in earnest Friday, and for many of us, that means a trip or two to the toy store. The Oregon Student Public Interest Research Group is warning us to be safety conscious when buying toys this holiday season. The researchers say parents need to avoid toys with small parts that can be swallowed. Avoid what they call toxic toys, soft PVC playthings designed for teething children. Surprisingly, the toy that claims the most lives every year is the balloon. When popped, balloons can suffocate children.
If it's anywhere as popular as the show itself, the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire CD-ROM will be a hot gift this holiday season. The game comes complete with Regis's voice and his infamous question.
Final answer?
As in the TV version, players on the CD-ROM game try to answer 15 questions on their way to a virtual $1 million. The game also features 3 lifeline choices, the fast finger round, and that familiar Millionaire theme music. Even Regis says he can't believe how lifelike it is.
It's exactly the same as hosting the TV show. I mean, I'm there, the contestant is there, music is there, the questions are there. All the excitement and the fun that we hope to generate on TV is in this game. I couldn't believe it could be done, but they made a believer out of me. I think it's terrific.
The Millionaire CD-ROM is already on store shelves. It sells for $19.99. You may have seen it. A Longview, Washington man lived through a Millionaire roller coaster ride just last night.
Curtis Cooney had 3 shots at making it to the Millionaire hot seat. Each time he came up short. We caught up with Cooney and his family as they recover from Millionaire madness.
Forest Grove is an active high school with students and parents coming and going for classes and...
That is not Curtis Cooney. That was Forest Grove High School, a story from another day, another time. Will we have that tape anytime soon, or should we come back to it in just a few minutes? We'll have that coming up in the next segment of this broadcast. So coming up next, we'll find out how your family can make the most out of this holiday season without driving each other crazy. We'll be back.
My family never drove each other crazy, I can tell you that for a fact. Sort of, kind of in a way. All right, listen, after the break, not only will we have that story, we'll also have your complete weather forecast. It's going to get wet. Stay right there. Here's the Wixnet station as we go to the break.
There was no Blockbuster the first Thanksgiving, so the Pilgrims watched the butter churn. And at one point, a pilgrim had to excuse himself. And when he returned, he said, "Hey, what did I miss? Rewind it."
Fortunately, this week you can rent Entrapment, guaranteed to be there at Blockbuster. It's non-stop action with Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones. Rated PG-13, directed by John Emile. Also available on DVD. Nobody has more copies than Blockbuster.
Subaru Forester, with yet another AAA award for the best SUV under $25,000 and the highest rating in its class in recent crash tests. The Forester isn't just easy to own, it's tough to beat. Subaru Forester. Sport utility tough, car easy.
Is Coffee guilty? Yes, he is. On December 10th.
Do I want to know what he did?
Get ready.
Take my hand, boss. You see for yourself.
To walk the mile.
You're talking about a miracle?
I just about believe that very thing.
John Coffey is a murderer.
He was found with the victims in his arms. I don't think he did it at all. Tom Hanks, The Green Mile. Rated R. Starts Friday, December 10th at a theater near you.
Real-time closed captioning on Channel 2 is brought to you by Fred Meyer.
I'm making a list, checking it twice, getting shopping done early. Isn't that nice?
Marshall's makes gift-giving easy. Right now, you'll discover beautiful ceramics and gourmet cookware, and it's all up to 60% less.
The house is ready for the holidays.
You'll find brilliant crystal and cozy throws. Hurry in for creative gift ideas for the whole family.
I'm telling you why. I got the best gifts this year.
Marshall's, brand names for less.
Every day.
Even with its impressive power, remarkable handling, and legendary capability, Jeep Grand Cherokee can still be leased for just $359 a month. Maybe that's why everyone's going out of their way to get a look at it. The $359 a month Grand Cherokee lease. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
Rely on Channel 2 weather reports, brought to you in part by your local Jeep dealer.
He's a smart guy. Curtis Cooney from Longview. He had 3 shots at the Millionaire hot seat. We caught up with him after his appearance. America's hottest show had a Northwest flavor tonight. Curtis Cooney and his family can sit back, laugh, and relax now that it's history. This past Sunday night, Cooney flew to New York to be a contestant on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Curtis Cooney, Longview, Washington.
Cooney made it through 3 fast finger rounds with the right answers, but not the right times.
When I look and I see, boy, second place every time, 3 times in a row, it made it a little bit more disappointing, but still, all in all, a fun experience.
I thought for sure he made it just like he did. We were all just,
Even though Cooney came back empty-handed, he and his family have a pretty good sense of humor about the whole thing.
They're telling you, be sure you eat a big breakfast because, it's going to be a long day. And I'm like, well, unless you want me vomiting on Regis's shoes or something like that, I better not be eating that much.
Still, the Cooneys were in the mood for a little celebrating and a little kidding of their contestant.
Well, obviously, I'm very disappointed. You can't really sponge off a rich relative until you actually have a rich relative. Curtis has been our best hope so far.
Now, we may see him on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire again. According to the game show rules, he can try one more time during the next 2 years. He says that's exactly what he'll do. Kathy?
It is almost Thanksgiving, and for some of us, that means a lot more food, a lot more family, and a lot more stress. So to help you survive, we asked a psychologist for some help. The family and holidays. It can start calm like this and end up like this.
Nobody means what they say on Thanksgiving, Mom. You know that. That's what the day's supposed to be all about, right? Torture.
That was just a movie, but in real life, the key to surviving a family holiday like that is coping with the stress. Licensed psychologist Dr. Hank Robb says we also have to learn to expect less.
We have an idealized notion of what the holiday is supposed to be like. No activity is going to, if you give it that kind of power, can possibly live up to that kind of billing, and everyone is going to be frustrated and unhappy.
Dr. Robb says that if you really want to stop driving yourself crazy over the holidays, look for the warning signs in advance. Here are his holiday distress signals. Stop demanding. The world's not perfect and everything doesn't need to go your way. Stop awfulizing. That means it's never as awful as you might think it is. I can't stand it. If you think you can't stand it, you won't. Admit to yourself that you simply don't like it and try to deal with it. And finally, person grading. Don't grade other relatives' behavior and blame them for what's going wrong.
If you can take that kind of accepting attitude, disturbances won't turn into disasters.
Now, if you don't catch the warning signs in time and things do get out of hand, the doctor has one last piece of advice. Breathe in deeply and let it out slowly over at least 10 seconds. He claims it does really work.
You know, Rob's working on that right now, building up to
I'm going to suggest 20 in Rob's case, 20 seconds.
Not a bad idea, because you know we're spending Thanksgiving together here at the Channel 2 Family Studios, and yeah, you've been known to drive me crazy once in a while. Maybe that extra bird and stuffing will do it. No, I'm looking forward to it, gang. I hope you're looking forward to the holiday as well. I think we analyzed it to a point where maybe now you can avoid that whatever happens with your family. Outside, let's take a look at what's going on. Then we're going to take you through what's going to be a wet next couple of days. Cloudy right now, so we're dry. It has been cool and damp all day long, especially this morning. East winds beginning to pick up now at 9 miles an hour, 46-degree temperature, and the freezing level is at 4,700 feet. All right, let's get right to the satellite picture. We're increasing the clouds quite rapidly as the next system begins to roll in. The clouds are a little bit thicker, a little bit more dense. They've got a little bit more moisture, and they're heading in our direction. So we are going to see more in the way of rain out of this particular system. Also more in the way of warm air. The warm front itself is going to slide across the area in the early morning hours tomorrow, and that will begin the rainfall. And that will also begin to see the warm air sneak in, and that will lift up the snow levels. And we talked about this last night as far as the ski resorts are concerned. The warm air, notice this front over the next couple of days, doesn't really push through. So we're going to be in the warm air probably through most of Thanksgiving. Then this front's going to lay right over us. And what that means is that we're going to be in for a prolonged period of moderate to heavy rainfall. And because of that, there have been flood watches issued for most of the north-central coastal communities, especially in the Coast Range, maybe 2, 3, possibly up to 4 inches in the Coast Range Mountains. So be aware of that. It's going to be pretty heavy here in town as well. And how long is it going to last? Well, here's a wide scope. So wide here is Hawaii. And you see the fetch of moisture. Just follow it, and it's heading right in our general direction. So we're basically turning on the garden hose here. We're going to keep it on for a good next 2 days, maybe 2.5 days before we start to decrease the rain in intensity. So it's going to be a wet holiday, no doubt. Today, temperatures were on the cool side. 37 only in Burns, 40 in Klamath Falls, 48 in Salem, 48 also the high temperature here in Portland, and since midnight last night, 0.09 in the rain gauge. Around the rest of the country, 45 in Denver, obviously some rain in Seattle, also some lighter rain in New York, cool day and dry in Chicago. Time now for your forecast across the Oregon coastline. As previously mentioned, we have a high wind warning up. South winds 30 to 40, possibly gusting to 70 at the headlands. That's not outrageous. 2 to 4 inches of rain, especially in the coast range. South winds at about 40 to 45 knots just offshore. Temperatures will rise into the 50s, not only on the coast, but here in the valleys as well. Lots of rain. It will be heavy at times, and it will be quite breezy here in the Willamette Valley. In the Cascades, snow levels will be lifting, maybe some snow accumulated at the passes tomorrow, and then lifting up to about 7,000 feet. It'll be well above freezing by late in the day tomorrow at Government Camp. And in the gorge, look for east winds to pick up. It will be a wet day and breezy, 20 to 30 mile an hour, 52 expected in Hood River. And the snow level will remain low through, well, to about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. 3,000 feet, then temperatures are going to rise well above freezing. 3 to 6 inches of snow before the rain moves in. Rain late, winds pick up in the morning, 45, rainy, breezy, a stormy day the day before Thanksgiving, high of 55. Thanksgiving and beyond, right there. Stay right there.
Get to the ski spree at your Lincoln Mercury dealer. Buy or lease a new Mountaineer and we'll throw in a pair of high-performance Olin Sierra skis. It's a 1-2 punch that'll give you all the cornering, handling, and power you need. And here's something else you can handle. 0.9% APR and 500 cash back. So if you want to hit the slopes in style, the ski spree at your Lincoln Mercury dealers. A cut above.
Many of the designer labels in our suits are the same well-known labels you'll find in department stores. But then they should be. After all, they're made by the same manufacturers.
The Men's Warehouse.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
When you've got the need for some serious air, VoiceStream gives you more.
Best ever.
600 anytime weekday minutes.
I know it's the best.
Plus free weekends nationwide.
Because I called everywhere.
That's a huge hunk for just $39.99.
I'm telling you, Bob, this is the best.
So get a hunk of your own.
On the other hand, maybe you should go to Maine.
With VoiceStream. Guaranteed.
Hello.
Brad, I want Pop Goes the Weasel for Christmas.
the book to give this Christmas.
No socks, no Christmas ties. Pop Goes the Weasel.
Peter, listen closely. Pop Goes the Weasel.
Kids, give Mommy Pop Goes the Weasel.
For friendly advice and great savings on your DirecTV system, stop by Circuit City today. When you get a DirecTV system and subscribe to Total Choice Programming, you'll get 2 free months of 32 premium movie channels and 25 specialty sports networks, a value of over $100. Plus, get a free self-install kit, a $50 value, or professional installation for only $99 with your DirecTV system. Save on DirecTV today at Circuit City.
Skiers and snowboarders, U.S. Outdoor presents Ski Etiquette. Always stay in control. And never pay too much. Come to U.S. Outdoor Store's Thanksgiving weekend sale. Dina Star skis with look bindings and poles just $249.95. Assorted Arnell snowboards start at just $99.95. And men's and ladies Nordica Performance ski boots just $99.95. U.S. Outdoor Store, where skiers help skiers.
Imus in the morning on Hot Talk 1080 KOTK.
Meet Carlos Sandoval, veteran Navy SEAL, trained to go through anything, equipped to survive it. Introducing the Chevy S10 Survival Pack, CD, automatic, air, aluminum wheels. Over $1,500 in savings and $1,250 cash back. You might think that could weaken a Navy SEAL. Fat chance. The Chevy S10 Survival Pack. Like a rock.
Tough guy. 55 tomorrow across the area with lots of rain. That will last through Thanksgiving. It'll be breezy at times, especially on Wednesday. A bit of a break on Friday. Another quick shot of rain on Saturday. Cooling down. That's when the snow levels will come down to reinvigorate these ski areas.
So if you have trouble with your family, send them out in the rain.
And breathe.
Thanks, Rob.
A holiday tradition is again lighting the Rose City. The Made in Oregon sign featuring the famous white stag is aglow. The stag's nose was turned on tonight, that red nose. The colorful sign marks the beginning of Portland's holiday season. For years, the deer was used to promote the White Stag Company. It was spruced up and relighted 2 years ago in time for the holidays.
It's what we call Rudolph when we cross the Burnside Bridge.
We like that.
Rudolph is back.
He never catches a cold. It's a big nose.
Could be a problem.
It could be a messy problem. The Blazers go after their 7th straight win in Cleveland tonight, and good news for Oregon State Beavers fans. Head coach Dennis Erickson says he's staying in Corvallis. We'll take the field with Channel 2 Sports next.
Autumn means a big change in the season and a big change at your Toyota dealer. The year 2000 models have arrived. And Corolla's never been better. Now, sporting a new, more powerful engine and 6.9 APR financing. Just 6.9 for AAA's top car under $15,000. You got places to go, and the first stop is the 21st century. This fall, let the 2000 Corolla take you there. See your local Toyota dealer, leading the way into Y2K.
Dear Albertsons, at the holidays, my company supplies meals to people in need. Unfortunately, last year we waited so late to order them, we didn't think we would get our meal. But your store director, Denny Prosser, had dinners prepared for our most needy families. And right in the middle of the holiday hustle and bustle, he even carried the food to my car for me. It's people like Denny who make the holidays a little brighter and make Albertsons my store. Sandra LaHoulier, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
That's a component video cable. Goes from the DVD player to the TV.
He hasn't spoken in nearly 5 years.
And for optimal sound, make sure the digital audio output is connected to the receiver.
If setting up that new home theater were this easy, you wouldn't need a place like 800.com. But it isn't.
This is great.
So you do.
Thanks for your help, Grandpa.
Grandpa? 800.com. Everything you always wanted from an electronics store and more.
Grandpa?
The Meyer & Frank Thanksgiving Preview Sale. Doors open 8 a.m. Wednesday for store-wide savings.
This is where it all starts. This is where it gets good.
The new 2000 Plymouth Neon has more available safety and security features than any car in its class. With refined suspension and steering, safety cage construction, and full-frame triple-sealed doors. You can feel safer in whatever you do. And starting under $12,000, you can safely splurge on other things. The new 2000 Plymouth Neon.
See your local Northwest Chrysler and Plymouth dealer.
On your mark, get set, go to the Ross Shopping Marathon. Save up to 70% on thousands of items like designer sportswear, crystal giftware, sweaters, frames, jackets, gifts for men, activewear, fragrance gift sets, slippers, and much, much more. The Ross Shopping Marathon, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Don't lose out.
Now, this was the stop on the Blazers' 6-game road trip that looked like a sure win. It was Cleveland. The Cavs had dropped 3 straight, getting blown out in their last loss by 29 points. And tonight, they had the team with the best record paying them a visit. The Cavs, though, not impressed. Lamont Murray steals it. Then get out your Fisher scones, because he's got the jam. Portland just didn't look up for this one early, all except for this play. Rasheed Wallace, I think that was up. Cavs by 20, though, and at one point, the Blazers finally started cutting into it in the third. Arvidas with the shotus. That was nice. The Blazers, though, slow on the run back, and Murray beats him down the court for another slammer. Still, Portland would tie it up in the fourth quarter, but this time they couldn't hold it. Andre Miller on a Tuesday night drive through Portland. That's worth 3, and the guy who killed him was Sean Kemp. He hits 4 jumpers in a row in crunch time, including this one. The Cavs, the first team to score 100 on Portland. So much for a gimme game. Cavs 103, Portland 100. The Blazers in Minneapolis tomorrow night. That ends a 6-game winning streak, by the way. Washington over Vancouver. Atlanta takes the Heat. Phoenix is a point better than Toronto. Houston ends a 5-game slide. The Clips knock off the Knicks. And the Kings are now 8-1. The battle for Portland at the Coliseum tonight. Pilots guard Ryan Jones. I shoot, I score. Pilots had a 9-point lead, but the Vikings come back at him like some bad oysters. Derek Nesland hits 11 of 12 free throws. Portland State ends up winning it by a score of 61-51. Elsewhere, the Beavers open their year with an easy win over California State at Chico, and A.D. Smith's 14 points leads the Ducks past Chicago. After the OSU football team lost Mike Riley to the Chargers last year, many Beavers were worried they would lose head coach Dennis Erickson this year. Recent rumors had him on his way to LSU. But Dennis ends all that speculation by signing a 5-year contract extension worth nearly $500,000 per year. Plus, he says it shows how much this program is getting support from the university president.
To know that President Risser, is really behind us, because he's a real key to this whole thing and the things that we're trying to get done at Oregon State as far as facilities and continuing to build this football program. And then with the reward of the new contract, it just goes to show you how much he supports what we're trying to get done.
And a big way to go for our latest KATU Northwest Chrysler Plymouth Dealers Athlete of the Month. He's Mitch Musin from Forest Grove. Mitch played hurt this year, but still won Defensive Player of the Year honors. He's a 3.4 student and a 3-sport athlete. Steve Arena makes the presentation.
Outstanding football player, has enjoyed an outstanding career here at Forest Grove. Also a very good basketball player and baseball player. And chances are when he does select a college this year, he will select a college where he can play Division I football and baseball. Now that is something special. So Forest Grove, on your feet to honor and recognize your Channel 2 Athlete of the Month. He is Mitch Musin. Mitch, come on out.
Congratulations, Mitch Musin hopes to decide on a college, by the way, in February. I want to say a little congratulations to John Marlar for the Regis Philbin look tonight. Very nice. Starting a new show here called Who Wants to Win a Buck?
Thanks, Ron.
Is that your final insult?
Yeah, that's final insult. Very good.
Okay, thanks.
But we have a final story. Thanksgiving came early for elephants at the Los Angeles Zoo. No deep breathing needed for this one, Rob. Ruby and Gita were eager to dive into their Thanksgiving buffet of veggies and other elephant treats. After gingerly picking out their favorites, they even munched on the decorations for a while. The two were a little puzzled by the specially created papier-mâché turkey, a kind of elephant piñata. Like, get this thing out of here, the guy says. The turkey was filled with other edible goodies, and eventually they got the idea and were able to finish off the meal.
Food does that to you. Eventually you find your way to it. That's it for Channel 2 News at 11. We thank you so much for being with us.
Have a good night.
Fisher Broadcasting.
November 23rd, 1999.
It's a message from health professionals to our public high schools.
On to MTV.com and play game to compete live.